Hello, and a good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, the good people of the tube. Hope you're today. Hope you are feeling grand and all is well in your world. Hello there, everybody. Today's vid, everybody, is about this glorious beast here. You've seen it in I think you've seen it in an intro jam. I forget because I don't remember very well. I have my brain. Anyway, today's vid is all about this glorious white beast here that I love immensely. But there is a drawback to that. Anyway, so let me tell you quickly what this is before we, because I would very much like to tell you the story of how this came to kind of like be in my possession. Just kind of give it a bit of a backstory and just kind of like explain a few things about it. So, what is this guitar, Dave? I hear you cry. So, I believe this guitar is a early 1970s Columbus Strat copy, and it's a lawsuit model, definitely. What do I mean by lawsuit model? The same thing as I meant with the Columbus 335 that's hung on the wall over there. Basically, during the early 70s, certain companies in Japan were making Stratocaster, Telecaster, Les Paul, 335, SG copies, you know, and they were making other guitars as well, to a very, 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 very good standard and very much identical to Fenders of the time. And basically, Fender and Gibson cottoned on to what was going on because these were available for like a fraction of the price of a real Fender or a real Gibson. So people were buying these instead, you know, because these were more affordable. These were more kind of like, you know, achievable, if you will. So people were buying these anyway. Anyway, Fender and Gibson kind of cottoned on to that, and they took these companies to court and said, no. So after a certain period of time, and like, you know, towards the mid to late 70s, you start to see different body shapes, and they're still kind of Stratocasters, Telecasters, Les Pauls, but they're slightly different here and there. Anyway, so that's why they're called the lawsuit model, because it basically Fender and Gibson took these companies to court and basically said, I don't think so. So that's what this definitely is, because it's so close to a 70s Strat in every way, shape, and form, and it's definitely close to a very early 70s Strat. It's like a 72. That's what it feels like a 71, 72 Strat to me. So that's what I believe this guitar is. It is what it is, and also the fact is I've got a three-way selector in this thing. A lot of kind of like later lawsuit Strats have 5 ways. This has only got a 3-way selector, so it definitely makes me go, this is a lot earlier. This is early 70s. This isn't mid to late 70s. This is early because of a 3-way selector, as far as I believe. Anyway, as far as I know, shall I say. Anyway, as far as I've read and what I've experienced with these guitars as well, having played a few Columbus Strats and whatnot. Okay, so anyway. So let me tell you quickly some specs about this, and then we'll talk about how this guitar came to be in my possession for now. Okay, so it's not real wood body. It's like just press board. It's it's just like many layers of wood put together. So it's not it's not real wood. The neck is a maple neck. It's a maple cap. So there is no skunk stripe. It's a maple cap fingerboard. The frets are very low. The frets are very worn down, but it still plays fine. It's not ridiculous. It has a bullet truss rod. It has the big 70s era headstock. I'll give you a close-up in a minute. The headstock is a 3-piece headstock. So you have like the main section of the headstock and then like got 2 little wings, and I'll show you that when we get to the close-up. You do have a full-size like zinc alloy tremolo in this guitar. It's not steel block. It's just like a zinc alloy. It's not it's not steel, should we say? So that's there with really cool. I mean, I'll talk about that in a minute. But that kind of thing. The electrics are okay. The pickups are fantastic. Although the wires coming off the pickups are so skinny, it doesn't fill you full of confidence. It really doesn't. But the pickups on this guitar are amazing. You got staggered pole pieces as well. And weirdly enough, they're not 70s stagger. They're more of an early kind of like 60s kind of stagger on the pickups, which is really, really cool. Anyway, pots are 250k, but they're not particularly amazing, but they work, so they do the job. And I say you got a 3-way selector as well. So Oh, and also, the original machine heads have been changed out on this one for Goto machine heads. And also, the scratch plate has been changed out as well. And also, it's been refinished. So let me tell you that quick as well. Sorry, I'll get to the story in a minute. I'll try and get there soon, people with you. I do apologise. I keep remembering things. I want to talk about that. So, this guitar was originally three-tone sunburst. And it's still under the white. This guitar at some point has been refinished to this kind of cream colour. It's not originally white, and if you look at certain points, which again I'll show you in a sec if I can get the camera in close enough, if you look really close you can see the black of the burst underneath, and also in certain other parts of the guitar which are covered at this point in time because it's together, you can see bits of the brown and the red, well brown, the kind of amber and the kind of like the red of the burst. Where did brown come from? Anyway, but yeah, you can see that. So underneath this white is still a three-tone sunburst, but I say somebody somewhere along this guitar's life has refinned this, and it's now white, and I love it. I love it more being white. Anyway, so yeah, let's talk about how this guitar came to be in my possession. So, the other week, I went down with my two friends that I'm living there in. Here in France with, and I went down to their local rehearsal room. They were rehearsing with their band called Blue Octopus. Everybody, check them out. I'll tell you what. I'll put the link in the description box of this vid so you can check them out. I wanted to see them play kind of like in person instead of kind of watching them on YouTube or kind of getting like video clips or listening to their EP or whatnot. So I went down to the local rehearsal with them, and I was watching them play. Anyway, I walked into their rehearsal room, and at the back, as I walked in, over in that kind of like left corner from where I am, was a guitar rack, and on that guitar rack was this Washburn kind of, it's like a new metal-y version of the Washburns, like from the early 2000s, and then there was this, which was kind of like half on the rack, half off the rack, and leant against the wall, and it was kind of like, it was like someone had thrown it on the guitar rack. It was not sat on the guitar rack at all. It was a mess, and I was like, what? And I literally said out loud, what is that? And I literally made a beeline for it. I just went straight to this guitar. I needed to know what it was, and I picked it up, and I have never seen such a mess like what I have. But this guitar was a wreck, an absolute wreck. I picked it up, and I was like, oh my god. I said, do you know what this is? And they were like, no. They said no. And it's like, I said, this is like an early 70s Strat copy, and it just been basically, apparently it's been there for years, just basically kind of like rotting away basically. Anyway, it was a mess. It was a total mess. It was filthy. The action was about that high, no word of a lie. The neck was like a banana. It was absolute mess. And it was gross, to be honest with you. It was a bit disgusting, and it really upset me. Like really, really upset me, because this is a guitar that I know I would love to own, and it had just been neglected for all these years, and it had just been kind of like abused and just kind of left there, and nobody wanted to play it because it was so hard to play. Everyone thought it was dead. My friend Nicole, I was talking to my friend Nicole about this, and she said she had seen it, obviously, since they were going there to rehearse for about a year or so. She had seen it there just hung on the wall and then in that guitar rack, and she thought it was just dead. It was gone, basically. And so I explained, no, there's, we can fix this. So anyway, so we brought it back with us that night, and me and Nicole basically set to work on cleaning it up and fixing it. And once we got it restrung and cleaned and everything sorted, and the truss rod adjusted, the truss rod, wasn't, the neck was a banana. As soon as you pulled the truss rod, I mean, it's never, the neck's still bananaed slightly, but it's playable, and that's all that matters. And there is still a little bit of movement in the truss rod, but I thought I'd leave it for the time being. Once we got it all sorted and settled and back together, we literally took the whole thing apart. The saddles had seized. So we had to take all the tremolo apart. We had to take the scratch plate off. Had to take the pickups apart. The whole guitar was in pieces because it had to be for us to clean it properly and to get it back up and running. But anyway, once we got it sorted, restrung, and plugged it in, it was like the heavens opened, and it was, oh, it was one of those heavenly moments where, oh my god, this guitar's alive. I do apologise about my phone. So, and literally, honestly, this guitar is literally one of the best guitars, Strats, I've ever heard played. It's just insanely good. I am beyond wowed by it. It's so amazing. So, and hopefully that sound will come across today. So, so like I say, it would benefit from a refret, but not yet. You know, that could be a future thing. But unfortunately, because it's not mine, I can't put that much money in. I mean, it must have took us a good 5-6 hours to get this thing right. So, and also because it's not mine, I'm not sinking money into a refret because it's not mine. You know what I mean? That's for the owner to decide. But the problem is, like I say, the owner won't give it up, even though he doesn't play it. And it was just basically, it's been sat rotting for years and years and years, and the owner won't give it up. So, and that really upsets me because I can't let this thing happen. I can't let this guitar go back and sit and rot away. You know. So anyway, but I can't own it at the same time. So what do you do? Anyway, so let me give you a close up and show you some of the really cool features about this guitar, because when you see this guitar up close and personal, it's got so much vibe. It's so cool. It's so cool. Anyway, let me show you really close. Well, as close as I can get with a Q8. So yeah, one sec. Okay, people of the tube, let me try and get in here really close. Well, yeah, you can. I can see it on the LCD, so you can see all this cracking. It's like they look like checking lines. Well, they are checking lines basically, but like weather cracks, like where basically the wood's expanded and the paint hasn't, and it's broken. So that, believe it or not, this is a polyurethane finish. This is not a nitro finish. So I can't even imagine the kind of weather this guitar has been through for this to happen to polyurethane finish. I am shocked about these break lines, because initially I thought it was nitro, but the closer you get to it, and when you see it up personally, you're like, that's not nitro checking. That's actually warped and broken polyurethane lacquer. So that to me is absolutely insane. So this guitar is all checked like that, and I'll show you the back in a minute. But like I say, that's poly. Ridiculous, absolutely insane. It's really seen the war, this guitar. So we've got a very, very small arm contour here. You can see that really, really well. So here's the bridge. Believe it or not, there is a very weird pattern on the bridge saddles, but believe it or not, that is actually intonated. Very strange pattern. I've never ever seen a guitar intonated like that before in my life, but it's in tune with itself. So, like I say, all these were seized. All the grub screws didn't move. Everything was just like a big mass of metal. So we had to take all that apart. Jack socket we had to take apart because it was filthy. Like I say, this is not the original scratch plate. Somebody has replaced this at some point. Original pickups there. You can see the stagger on the pickups there. Original covers. Freeway selector, and if you look at the switch tip, it's like it's upside down, which is really cool. I like that. Turning it around quick before we show you the neck. Okay, so there's no neck plate. The neck plate has been replaced by these washers and the neck bolts, but it's stable, it's sturdy. More crazy checking lines. I do have the back plate. I've taken it off for the time being, but like I say, you can see how broken the finish is on this guitar. It's absolutely insane. It's discolored even more on the scratch plate. I had to put 5 springs in this thing to get the tremolo to lock down. And the tremolo is made in Japan, STC tremolo, and it's really good. This is the same tremolo that I've got in my 62 Strat. So it was a good replacement. Also, somebody's resoldered this guitar quite a lot. So, but I had to put 5 springs in it to get it locked down. But that's the back. Like I say, you can see more checking lines up here, some more damage. You know, if I come up here, actually, I think the front one, down here is better. So if you look here, I do apologise about the blurring, but there you go. You can see the black under the white of the original Sunburst, which is really, really cool. And under here, under some of these, you can under that one, I believe, you can see the red and the kind of amber of the burst. So moving on to the neck, there's a nice kind of like bit of flame going on with the neck. Not a lot, but nice nonetheless. Kind of strange discoloration in the wood there. This guitar has been played a lot. There's a lot of kind of wear on the side of the fretboard. The fret edges are all rolled. It's absolutely amazing. The neck on this thing is absolutely amazing. It just fits your hand like a glove. It's just ridiculous. So fretboard, somebody has clear coated the fretboard at some point, and the clear coat over the years has bubbled, leaving these kind of weird well, I don't know what you'd call it, ugliness, if you will, on the fret dots. Like I say, it's not very nice. The original lacquer is still under there, but you can, I don't know how we're able to see this, but kind of like, if I get it, there you go. If I get it in light, you can see where it's kind of chipped off here, down here. So, and I say, you can kind of see how the lacquer kind of like backs up against the frets. So, that's the neck. Like I say, it has been played. You can really see, if I get the camera in the right place, Davey, you can really see how much it's been played. Coming up to the nut's done, to be honest with you. It needs a new nut. I've had to put paper in the low E and the high E to make it play. We've got the bullet truss rod though, which is really cool. 2 string trees and the big 70s era headstock. And like I say, you can see the 3 pieces of the neck. So one there, then you got a wing, and then another wing on this side. And then you got Goto machine heads on the headstock here with missing screw. I don't know how that one's held in there, but it's there nonetheless. But like I say, this guitar is amazing. I mean, you got some amazing kind of cracking in the neck pocket here. Look at this. This is absolutely catastrophic. But the guitar is stable and it's alive. And my God, is it alive? But yeah, it's absolutely stunning. This guitar is absolutely stunning. So anyway, people of the tube, without further ado, and also yeah, check out some of the fretboard damage. I don't know what's happened there, but my God, is this guitar poor? I feel so sorry for this guitar because it's such an amazing instrument, and it's just been sat there for God knows how long, just kind of like getting abused basically, and it's really, really heartbreaking to see. Anyway, we're gonna plug it in now. We're gonna make it. Well, I'm gonna try and make it and try and do it justice and try and make it sing, because it does want to sing so much, and it literally has one of the coolest Strat tones, feels, and everything that I've ever. I need this guitar, people of the tube. I can't have this guitar, but I really need this guitar. Anyway, and like I say, up here, you know, the logo is long gone, but I believe this was a Columbus. But it could have been anything. It could have been, was it CMI or something like that? It could have been anything. But I believe it to be a Columbus. Like I say, this guitar is amazing. I love the vibe of it, especially now it's clean as well. And you don't feel like you're getting kind of tetanus from touching it. Like I say, just to give you an idea, people of tube, the action, I don't know how well you'll be able to see this because of the fisheye, but the action's really good now. But when it came, no word of a lie, the action was probably about like there. It was absolutely, it was near unplayable. It was near unplayable. It was basically a slide guitar at that point in time. Anyway, enough talking. Let's plug it in. Let's make some noise, because I want you to hear this thing. Okay, people of Tube, there you go. That's the early 1970s Columbus Strat copy lawsuit thing. That's totally spaced me out. That was ace. This guitar is one of those guitars you just get lost in, and you don't know where you are, and you don't care because you're happy. And this guitar does that. And there is bonds you get with guitars sometimes that just kind of like supersede other guitars, and this is one of those moments. And to know that I can't own this guitar is crippling, to say the least, because it's just such an incredible instrument. It really is incredible. The sound, the playability, how inspirational it is to play. It's just an amazing guitar. And yeah, whenever it has to go back, this is going to be one of those ones that I'll always remember and always miss. So it's going to be a hard time saying goodbye to this one when it goes back. Hopefully not for a while yet. Hopefully it can stay here for a bit longer yet. But yeah, be that for what it may, people of Tube. This guitar is incredible. These old 70s Strat copies, I mean, I would really recommend, if anybody's thinking about buying one, buy it. Yes, some of them need a bit of TLC. This one definitely did. But when you get them right after a bit of work, they rival any vintage Fender. I mean, this is incredible. This guitar is incredible. It really is. And I say for a 70s instrument, incredible. I'm gonna sneeze. Has anyone ever sneezed on YouTube? Probably. Oh, that was a good one. I really enjoyed that. Anyway, I'm totally out of my brain, which is the best way to be able to play guitar. I feel exhausted and drained and kind of just not here, like that. It's great. I love it. I love this feeling so much. I just feel so comfy. It's just very, very happy days. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, everybody. I hope the sound came across okay. It's just what a sound this thing has. I mean, it's such a tone machine. It really is. And these pickups are amazing. Everything works properly. The neck, the playability. It's solid as a rock as well. Even without a neck plate, it's as solid as a rock. It is not going anywhere. I mean, it holds its tuning so well. It really does. And the poor thing has seen such a hard life. Like I say, my friend Nicole said this was basically hung up in a window for about a year. A window with a draft, so no wonder the paint broke. But it's been abused, and to bring it back to life was an absolute pleasure and an honour. I just wish I could call it mine. I know, you know what I mean? Like, I know that might sound a bit silly, but the fact I get to play it's cool, but I wish I could call it mine, because it's had such a tough life, and it hasn't been loved. This guitar has not been loved, but it wanted to be. I could feel it when you play it. You know what I mean? It wants to be used really well. You know, it wants to be played. It wants to sing. You know, it did, as soon as I picked it up and was playing it with its banana neck and ridiculously high action, I could feel in there was a heart, and it took some work to get it back. But my God, its heart is gorgeous. And this guitar is such a happy guitar now. And like I say, I just wish I could call it mine, because it just deserves to be loved, this guitar. It doesn't deserve to be hung in a window through all seasons just because. You know, it doesn't deserve to be just thrown in a corner on a guitar rack and covered in dust and not loved and looked after. It kills me that could happen to this instrument again when it goes back. It kills me to think that could happen to this. And if I was a very dishonest person, I would steal it, but I'm not, and I can't steal it. But sometimes there are times when you wish you could. Not to be a horrible human being or anything like that, but you know, it's some times where you're just like, this deserves so much more, and this guitar is one of those examples. It just deserves so much more, and I'm glad I've got it here in my hands at this point in time. and I'm glad it's here, and I'm not there and not sat in all horrible, cold conditions, warm conditions, damp conditions. It's here, and I'm playing it, and I'm using it, and I've already written a song with it, and it's been loved, and it's been cared for, and that's all it wants. That's all these things want, is to be loved and cared for and played, and made to sing, which is what their job is, and emote through, and yeah. I get funny with guitars, people of the tube. I really do. I get really emotional about guitars when they're abused and beaten up or neglected. It really, really, really hurts me. It really upsets me. And this guitar, like I say, if I could just buy this and know it's mine, I know I'll look after it forever. You know what I mean? This is one of those guitars that I would keep forever. I wouldn't sell this guitar if I could buy it. But even though the guy who owns it never plays and doesn't play this, he hasn't played this for, judging by the state of it, it was hung there for many years. The amount of dust on it and the amount of kind of like, I say, polyurethane lacquer does not check like that unless it's extreme weather conditions, and it's been like that for a long time. So it's had a hard life, this thing, but my God. And it always blows me away, the length and the abuse these things can go through and still come back from it. Like, this guitar has just never been loved. Never been loved in its life. It's been played, but it hasn't been loved, and you can tell that when you get near it. And it's what it wanted. And like, it just deserves love. It really does. It's such an amazing instrument, and it's got so much music inside it. It's such a musical sounding guitar, and the neck is fantastic, and it plays properly. And if I bought it, I would get it refretted. When it needed it, it's fine at the moment, but when it needed refretting, I'd refret it, even though the refret would probably cost as much as the guitar does, but it'd be worth it because of what the guitar is. Yeah, I don't want it to go back. I don't want this guitar to go back to where it was. I can't have that. I can't stand by and have that happen. So, but I can't steal it. And I can't just take it and run away. I don't know, people with tube. I get really funny with stuff like this because it really upsets me, and it really bites into me. Yeah, it really does. And it's not like just going online and buying another one, because I thought about that. I thought, why not just go on eBay or somewhere, Reverb or something, and just buy another one of these. That one might not have the heart this one has. It might have a different heart, and it might not connect with me. This one connected because I've been able to play it. Sight unseen, you never know. So, you need to play these things to know. And this thing just wants to be loved and looked after and played and made to sing and do its job. It doesn't want to be hung up or abused in a rehearsal space. It really doesn't. I don't know. Anyway, people of the tube, I'm going to stop being, well, I don't know if it's silly. I don't feel silly saying it personally. I feel quite, I'm kind of upset, to be honest with you. I'm very upset by the fact that I can't, the owner, even though he hasn't played this guitar for about 5 years, will not sell it. And the fact that he didn't care about it, obviously. This guitar, when I got it, was not the sign of it was not in the condition of somebody who gave a S. It wasn't. It reminds me of my old manager at Old Hat Guitars, Norman. It's one of those kind of things of like, yeah, but if I don't have it, but if you've got it, I don't have it. You know what I mean? That kind of mindset, and that's never a good thing. But that seems to be the mindset this guy's got on this guitar. Is like, yeah, but even though I don't play it, and I'm never gonna play it, and I'm never gonna use it, you'll have it and I won't, and that's really a big issue. It's like, okay, So that's the issue we have, people too. But anyway, be that for what it may, it's here now, and I will do all within my power to keep it here for as long as I can. And until that day it has to go back, which will be a heartbreaking day, I will love it, I will play it, I will use it, and I will make it sing. And I'll look after it. And until that day, it's here. So anyway, people of Chew, I'm getting all gushy. So hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed the noises this thing makes. I certainly have. I've really enjoyed this. I've really enjoyed playing today. Like, even, you know, I enjoy playing it every day, but some days there's just days where you just enjoy it even more, and today's one of those days. So I've loved every second of today, and I'm going to play it more when I come off the camera after I've edited this video together. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening, and I'll see you again for another one very soon. Yeah, goodbye now. Thank you very much for watching. See ya.